What's up, guys? I'm at the Singapore Indoor Arena, and UFC 275 has just wrapped. And listen to me, this was the greatest fight card of the entire year. It absolutely delivered, from Savannah Gomez Juarez knocking out her opponent in the way that she did on the prelims, all the way to the main event. From Joanna Jedrzejczyk retiring, it was just, I mean, a lot of times we don't expect these fight cards that don't have the name value to live up to what we see in so many UFC pay-per-views. But tonight, it was even better. We had so many finishes. I mean, watching Jake Matthews return in the way that he returned was so unexpected that I was almost shocked watching him. But ultimately, what this night will be remembered for was the top three fights. Zhang Weili fought Joanna Jedrzejczyk for a second time, a rematch. Both of these women told us, both of these champions told us that it would be different. Joanna promised to be more smart in her approach, but the moment the fight started, she went right after Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili did a great job of using her takedowns to give herself a chance, and early, she dominated because of those takedowns. Zhang Weili has now earned another championship fight against Carla Esparza, and honestly, she should be very excited about this because the matchup, it seems to favor her. And if we look at Zhang Weili and the way that she won the fight, spinning back fist. Guys, there's not been many spinning back fists in women fighting. We've seen two this year, with Zhang Weili tonight and Molly McCann earlier in London. Look, Zhang Weili put Joanna Jedrzejczyk flat on her face in the middle of the octagon. We never would have thought that this could have possibly happened. Right afterwards, Zhang in victory, Joanna in defeat. You see that difference in the way that people react to wins and losses, is the thrill and the agony. Whereas Zhang was so happy, Joanna was looking to move on. Joanna Jedrzejczyk retired in the octagon tonight. I'm so happy that I had an opportunity to be a part of that. She wants to start a family. She wants to do different things. And honestly, I am happy for her. We are all better in fighting because we got to watch Joanna Jedrzejczyk fight in the octagon. Let's get to the co-main event. Guys, Valentina Shevchenko lost the fight, at least in my opinion. Taila Santos did everything that she was supposed to in order to become the UFC champion. She scored takedowns. She controls. I just don't understand why there is no value in these submission attempts. She got to her back in round 1, 2, and 3. And in round 1 and 3, she had rear naked choke submission attempts. Kenny Florian texted me in the middle of the fight card. It goes, there's got to be value in these submission attempts. Absolutely. I agree. Because if a fight almost finishes on the feet, you almost judge that for the person right away. But instead, why not when the fight almost finishes on the ground, don't you judge them in the same manner? But ultimately, when it got to rounds 4 and rounds 5, Valentina Shevchenko did what she needed to do in order to keep her championship. She pressured forward. She threw caution to the wind. We got to watch the champ fight in a way that we aren't accustomed to. She is not a person that initiates. She's a counter striker, but she initiated for the last 10 minutes of the fight knowing that she had to do that if she was going to keep her championship. So hats off to the champ for keeping the belt and doing such a tremendous job in what was the toughest fight of her title run. The problem is, for Taila Santos, it'll be harder if it's a rematch. Because now Valentina has felt her. Now Valentina understands what she needs to do in order to beat her. So the challenge will be much more difficult. So it's already hard to beat Valentina. Now it'll be even harder. Now we get to the title fight with Yuri Prochazka and Glover Teixeira. You know, Glover's my guy. I don't want to judge him harshly, but I feel like his mistakes ultimately cost him his championship. The judges had him winning the fight. He was winning round 5. He hurt Yuri Prochazka on a number of occasions in that round, but he kept taking him down. He kept trying submissions and things that he shouldn't have done in order to win the fight. All he had to do was just stay on the feet and survive. Guys, it's like a basketball game where one team is up by 2 with 2 seconds left and the other team shoots a 3-pointer to win the match, to win the game. It was that close. Glover Teixeira, at 42 years old, was 28 seconds from keeping that championship. 28 seconds. When he goes back and he watches this fight, he's going to find a lot of disappointment because he did a lot of the mistakes to himself. But the night belongs to Yuri Prochazka. And you know what's the one thing about Yuri? He showed and answered a ton of questions in regards to who he was. There are a number of young athletes that come into the UFC and they get title fights quickly, but they usually get pushed back. Yuri showed tonight that he has the heart, he has the mettle, he has the skill, durability in order to give himself a chance, and obviously he became the champion. He judged himself so hard. He was talking about how lazy he was in there. He was talking about how upset he was with his performance, how he didn't fight in the way that he did. Look, if you cannot fight great and beat Glover Teixeira and win the UFC championship, what is the ceiling for Yuri Prochazka? He has really diverse striking, hurt Glover on a number of occasions, showed and impressed me most with his ability to deal with Glover when Glover actually got him down, when Glover secured takedowns, when Glover moved to better positions, when Glover mounted him on so many occasions, but never allowing him to get to the positions to try and get the finish. When Glover had him in the arm triangle, he was able to defend, but not only defend, reverse the position, get on top, and land his strikes, his punches, his ground and pound to hurt Glover Teixeira. And in round 5, it was his investment to the body. It was his willingness to punch to the body that allowed for Glover to fatigue so much that he tapped out to that choke. Yuri's not known as a submission artist, but Yuri just won the UFC championship on a rear naked choke with no hooks. Now, the challengers are lining up for this young man. And the division is as exciting as it's been for a really long time. The UFC has not come to Singapore much, but I'm telling you, this fight card absolutely delivered. These fights, from the prelims, we had multiple finishes, to the early prelims, where Gomez, I mean, you don't see a 115-pound woman knock somebody out in the way that she did. We saw a completely revamped Jake Matthews, as I stated earlier, do what he did to Andre Fialho. We saw so many great performances. We saw so many fighters really separate themselves and truly make a statement on a night where it would have been very difficult to make a statement. Hey, Savannah Gomez-Juarez got 50 grand from Dana White. She goes, show me the money, Dana. Show me the money. He goes, you got it. UFC 275 delivered. I cannot wait to get to UFC 276. These fighters that step into that octagon, unreal. And to be able to go in there and share in those moments, to be able to stand next to Joanna as she retired, to see Zhang Weili call for her title shot, sit next to Mick Maynard, and him saying, absolutely, she is the #1 contender. To actually go in there and talk to Glover and talk to Yuri Prochazka, the new champion. To share in those moments with these athletes is truly special to me. I am grateful, I am thankful, and I appreciate all the support. Guys, like, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you on the next one. Out.